Good morning, good afternoon. Today's April the 9th, the day after the total solar eclipse. I don't know about you guys, but my sister and I sat out on the porch and watched from beginning to end. Even though we're in North Carolina, we didn't get 100% total darkness, but it was something like 86%. But it was really cool to watch. I'm sure most of us, if we're old enough, have seen solar eclipses before, but it doesn't matter. It's just so cool to watch, and it's such a big event in the sky. So anyway, I loved it. Today I wanted to talk about a little bit. I don't want to do a lecture, but it's basically about meditation styles, types of meditation, and mantras and mudras. There are some basic meditation styles, and what I find interesting is that having meditated for a long time, I often, I'll say, mesh them together some of the time. I was taught originally with a meditation style that uses a mantra, which is the repetition of a sound or a word or words. The Om sound is something that I do. Om chanting is not, it's pretty commonplace for people to know what that is, even if you're not into meditation. But I use the Om chant to start my day. Usually, I light a tea light candle and some incense, and I usually use a few repetitions of Om to just set the vibration for the day. And it's simple. Om, Om. It's very simple. I was taught originally, my teacher bestowed upon each of us a specific mantra that was to be utilized by each of us alone, and that is ingrained. I repeat that mantra subconsciously if I'm awake, and sometimes I think when I'm asleep, because it's been such a long time. But what it does is focuses the mind, allowing an individual to really let go of the mental chatter, the mental noise that comes with being human. That's how we operate here. If our mind is not functional, our body may be alive, but we're not a functioning person, and that happens with brain injuries and so forth. But under normal circumstances, we need our brain to function in the earthly realm. That's a basic part of our anatomy that is necessary. However, if we are trying to access the deeper part of ourselves, that part of ourself that is not the body, that is consciousness, that is our soul self, that requires us to quiet the mind, allow the mind to focus on something else rather than our daily chatter. So a mantra is one way to do that. The other methods of meditation, which I've utilized and incorporated them all through the years, oftentimes in one particular sitting, so it can be interesting. Mindfulness is focusing the mind on our thoughts as they occur. So oftentimes the instruction is to sit and, close your eyes. Closing the eyes just shuts out that particular level, that senses input, shuts off that level of distraction. You don't have to close your eyes, but it's helpful in just shutting off that input avenue. So you close your eyes and relax, and as your mind will do, it begins to think, whether it's about what to get at the grocery store, I need to get gas, did I do that assignment, whatever. Simply sitting and relaxing and letting those thoughts occur, but picture them somewhat like a cloud, and you just see them float by. Just let one thought after another float by, giving it no, don't attach to it, don't embellish the thought. That's mindfulness. Spiritual meditation is more of a contemplative style, oftentimes a specific religion, Christianity, Sufism, any number of religions, have a contemplative practice that is the version of spiritual meditation. Focused meditation is using the five senses, concentrating on one thing. For example, that's the using the rosary beads, the mala beads, listening to a gong, staring at a candle flame, which I happen to really enjoy that as a focal point, just really kind of becoming one with the candle flame. Counting your breaths is a very effective focal point. And moon gazing, which I have not found that particularly useful for myself, but hey, I'm for whatever works. Movement meditation, a lot of people think of yoga when they think of that, the hatha yoga poses, but walking meditation, simply walking and allowing your mind to relax into what is just right in front of you. Gardening, anybody who practices, it may even be playing an instrument, but Tai Chi, Qigong, all of those movement practices, one can enter a state of flow that is what you may wish to achieve when you're meditating. And I'll come back to that word achieve and meditation in a minute. Transcendental meditation is a particular style of meditation developed by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi years and years ago, and is taught using a mantra which you are given. And that's a business now. That's a very thriving business practice to sell teaching transcendental meditation. And that's a subject I don't want to get on, not TM. I mean, I think TM is extremely valuable, but the idea of turning our spiritual practices into our business, that's one of those subjects I can get kind of wired up about, so I won't do that right now. The progressive relaxation, many people utilize that and don't think of it as meditation. Trying to get to sleep is a great way to use the progressive relaxation, generally starting at the top of the head and focusing on allowing the muscles to relax, going down and down the body until the entire body is completely relaxed. Sometimes it involves tightening the muscles in a given place and then releasing them to experience that relaxation. It's really great. I don't generally want to fall asleep when I'm meditating. I do anyway sometimes, though I sit up when I meditate. That's why I don't lay down. But you can lay down and meditate, and there's no reason why not. The idea is to keep your spine straight, so you're trying to sit in an upright position as much as possible, or lay flat so that your spine is straight. But if sleep is an issue for you, progressive relaxation is gosh, it's great. So you can even find those kind of things on YouTube by the bazillions, and they're awesome. Loving kindness meditation, which I bumped into years and years and years ago with a meditation teacher, Jack Cornfield. He's famous. Jack founded a meditation center in New York, I believe it was. Gosh, maybe the 70s. And then I'm hitting my camera. Subsequently has founded years ago a center in California, which I can't remember the name of right this minute, but Jack Cornfield, if you're ever looking for a teacher to experience their wisdom, he's got books, he's online, he has a website, just so much wisdom to impart, and he's been teaching for decades. But Jack Cornfield's loving kindness meditation is the one that I used and still do. And it is a repetition, and you can vary the words, but I'm a great practitioner of repetition. I like to make, particularly if it's a good habit, I like to repeat, and it just becomes second nature. But his loving kindness meditation is just wonderful, and we'll do that one of these days, just that all by itself. It's really, really awesome. Visualization meditation, which when I do guided meditation, it generally always involves that. And it's using your imagination to create a scene and trying to use all your senses, if you can, to make it very vivid. And the practice with visualization is oftentimes a religious practice and may utilize a revered figure, the guru, whomever one wishes to utilize as kind of a focal point. But again, creating a very focused, distinct scene in which you are experiencing that state of flow and communion with your higher self. So those are the types of meditation, and honestly, I don't think it matters. Choose one, choose them all, mix them up, whatever works for you. I'm having the hardest time keeping from gonking my camera. I'm sorry. The mantras are something that you can create your own, or go online and Google. I'm telling you, Google is our friend, and of course has been for a long time. But if I have a personal mantra that was given to me, one that I know is utilized by many is Om Mani Padme Um. And you can look that up, Om Mani Padme Um, if you want to use one of kind of an Eastern nature, or just Om. But mantras are a really great way to focus the mind in order for your own distractive thoughts to disappear, basically. So I personally am very much in favor of a mantra, but you can utilize any style of meditation. It doesn't have to be one with a mantra. Now, the mudras are hand positions, ways to hold your hands and fingers, which all is based on the science of the energetic circuitry of our body. Now, anyone who's heard of Reiki understands the energy that we utilize that flows through our body.